they own, but yeah, he was raised around there. But at the same time, they took the time out to teach him other stuff too. So
let me ask you this. Okay, and let me ask you this too, Dave. Music today, what is the problem? What is it lacking? What did it gain? What did it lose? Just certain questions I want to know because, we were talking like, what was that, last week? We did a show last Monday, and we had a little problem with the technical difficulties, and we was just talking about certain stuff, So, what y'all think about today's music?
Today's music, with it gain popularity. A lot of different cultures is starting to adopt, like, let's say, hip-hop. It's starting to adopt it more. You see it more mainstream. You see it like in commercials. Everybody want to do the trap music type of style. With it lost substance.
Wait, Dave. Make sure you get trap music and hip hop. They're two different things now. So separate those two.
So yeah, because trap music, in my world of music, trap music is defined as rap. You get what I'm saying? It's just rap. It's just noise on beat. That's what I consider rap to be. Just noise on beat. I consider hip-hop to be a different thing. Hip-hop is almost a different race in itself. If you understand hip-hop, man, it's like you're part of a culture that has no barriers of colors and everything else. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I can understand what Donte's saying right there, though.
And one thing I want to mention, because you know this, because you are into music, I started finding out these MCs follow a certain bars and beats on how they spit. And it's almost like writing music or follow those notes. So that's another thing that's different is like trap music, they're just saying words and they might sound clever. Actually, if you watch somebody who's a real MC, he's using bars in a certain way.
What you got to say about that, Dave? We gonna mess with Dave for a minute, man.
Nah, it's just basically what he was saying is they use a different type of structure. That's all. They have a point A, point B, and point C. And depending on how that character actually gets to those points, that's one thing. If it sounds good, that's another point. Because you could just be using the same formula as everybody else is using, but that don't mean that it sounds just as great as that last person who did that same formula.
Very so true.
So no, I understand what the brother is talking about. It's what it is. But what I meant from saying the hip-hop and then the trap music, by me being into music, I separate everything. I just use those two as just like subjects to talk about. But, we'll just stick with just talking about trap music. The way I define trap music is like how you said, noise on a beat.
Mm-hmm.
People may spit, sing poetry, whatever it takes to actually carry the song or make a track.
Right.
The way I look at trap music is you're using an old 808 that was used in the 80s. You're trying to bring that back, maybe a 909 that goes with it, and you adding cymbals and hi-hats that don't necessarily needs to be in there. You're ruining the structure of the song. Not saying that that's not a good technique to use to make beats, but now it's being used so often, like, okay, this is the norm now. So when you hear someone who does hip-hop or a different form of music, it's more like, what is this?
I get what you're saying. What you got to say about that, Donte?
You know what, man? From what I gathered from listening to music and what got me into hip-hop and just music together, it's a matter of, back in the day, you were getting signed because you sounded different from everybody else. And you did a new thing.
True.
Nowadays, they want to sign you because you sound like Migos or you sound...
Yeah, because I don't mean to cut you out because I'm confused by this whole panda hype. I mean, like, damn, ain't we heard this before with Future?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it, so...
He sounds like him, so they want to sign him.
I don't know. I guess everything is a copycat league, I guess.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. That's their whole method. Whatever generates money, that's what they go on for.
I guess you got to make money somehow, man.
You know what, man? As we talk about sports, I even break this down. Like, start watching basketball.
What's
like we compare like let's say Isaiah. Isaiah was good. He was a good point guard. He could shoot. He could do this and that. Mike, could take over a game. He was dunking, high flying. Then you got guys who can shoot 3-pointers, had range or something like that. You have some guys who had inside presence. That's how I'm looking at this now. Everybody wants to get that type of player like LeBron, the same prototype that does what he does, instead of getting a player who has maybe long range or something like that. They want to repeat the same thing instead of that guy who can set a trend, who sounds
so different. Maybe, I don't mean to cut you off, so maybe it's not the music. Maybe it's the coaches. And in the music industry, it's the A&Rs.
Yes, most definitely.
Maybe let's go deeper into hip hop and discuss that, because these people are just the talent. They just getting paid, right?
Yeah, a face.
So,
a face to what?
Like who is Panda signed to? Can we pull it up real quick or something? Like who is Panda? I mean Designer, whatever the fuck his name is. Who is he signed to?
I'm gonna be honest, I never even heard of the guy until today.
You know what? I just heard about him maybe about a month ago, and I'm listening to the music and I'm like, okay, I'm like, damn, Future got a nice little, he got a nice little song right here. I can never understand what these cats saying in the beginning. It always take me a few days, because some of them sound like they just be leaning a little bit too much for me. You get what I'm saying? So,
No, man, I'm reading this, man. He told me to look this up. Future on Designer, who you just mentioned, he sounded like, he was like, I don't even want his name in this article.
Wow. And, and that's like my thing, like, why would you want to clone in music today? Like, if you're going to clone something great. Clone me another Pac. You get what I'm saying? Okay.
Well, they tried,
I mean, clone me another Pac that's not exactly like Pac, but Pac-like. You get what I'm saying?
There'll never be anybody like him, man. I mean, I don't think you can clone him. I gotta say, I think Kendrick is the next evolution of that leader. It's just hard to.
Okay. I'm gonna cut you off, but we found the information on Designer. He signed a Def Jam. Wow. He's down. He just keep going.
And good music.
You lying? Are you serious?
It's right next to the Def Jam.
Oh, it sure is, man. Wow. Well,
sound like he got to work extra hard because now he got 2 people to pay, and neither one of them are distributors. I don't believe.
So he Designer from Brooklyn, New York.
Oh God.
He's 19 years old.
He's trapped.
Yeah, he's trapped.
Cause that contract is a bitch. Trust me.
He spells his name with 2 I's.
So he flunked English also.
I was about to say, because I thought am I right? 2 vowels next to each other, they should.
Well, shit, I mean,
I'm just saying.
He never had an I in his name in the MC8. DJ Quick, no C in there, so.
And y'all can go to the fan page, Blaa Hippie Radio Entertainment fan page right there on Facebook. I put up a video. It was a comedian. I forgot what the guy's name, and he was breaking down his lyrics, man, and it's hilarious, man. And I just sit back and I think about some of these cats' lyrics, man, and I just be like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, what the fuck does that make sense at? Now, I can understand us when we were younger. We talk with a certain slang and everything else, but as you get older and you get out in the world and you know that the language of the world ain't the way you grew up and groomed to articulate. It's not the same. I mean, like, do y'all think that's the problem with rap? It's a lack of education?
Yes.
All day.
Because rappers back in the day, back in the day, we can't necessarily say they were conscious. We're going to say that they were starting to be awakened. You get what I'm saying? Because there's still a lot of things in history that we don't know about, but...
Well, let me ask you this, Hippie.
You
said that.
Go ahead.
and I'm not trying to cut you off, but you talking about back in the day and everything like that. To me, they were trying to educate you. Maybe somebody wasn't teaching about Black history. A lot of the stuff that I started to know was listening to these MCs.
But you know, when you spread knowledge to people, you have to understand that the way you understand things is not going to be the way everybody else understand it. So I think that's the way a lot of these hip hop artists in the back in the day. That's how they didn't make it, because the world was on the verge. I think the world was at a point where ignorance was just starting to be a $1 billion industry. You get what I'm saying? Because right now ignorance is a cash cow. Look at all these reality shows. Look at all this shit. You get what I'm saying? So at the time, being vocal and open-minded, that's why I was, I wasn't shocked, but when I saw the story of Straight Outta Compton, during those times, during the whole big crack epidemic, when Ronald Reagan flooded the whole fucking country with crack. Yeah, I said it on radio, and I say it again. When Ronald Reagan flooded the whole country with crack, that was a big thing for them boys to step out and be vocal and to get that much attention. You get what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
That was a blessing. It wasn't luck. That was a blessing. And it's like now, I wish we did have that type of shit, because these kids now, they don't understand things. These adults don't even understand things. I was just talking to one of my buddies over Facebook, my homie CL Corey Crockett, and he was saying that it's some fine ass grandmothers, walking around here. It was a joke at first, but after the joking and the laughing, and you think about shit, it's like, damn. These grandmas 35 and 40 years old almost.
Our fucking age.
45. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So you see how the world is not, it's evolving, but it is not evolving to the way that it's progressing. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be a judge of nobody's life, and whatever your moral beliefs is and what you believe in, as long as you can face it in the mirror every morning, that's on you. But my thing is, like, we lost value in this world, and we lost value with music too. That's why I'm trying to put together 420 Music Group so bad. You get what I'm saying? Because things around us are not right, and we have an outlet. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to keep talking. Go ahead. What you got to say? You got something to say about it today?
No, I ain't got nothing to say about it. Nothing can actually be said about it. It's what it is. Even if you was decided to hold a seminar and try to teach people exactly what's going on, how to read in between the lines, or to decipher what is black and white on paper, it's not going to matter, because a person is going to do what they want to do anyway.
Because, I don't mean to cut you off, but I don't mean to get completely off subject, but like, the subject matter is on for the podcast is an open mic, so we're going to jump from subject to subject, so I hope y'all people following and everything else. We tried to go live and we couldn't, but we're gonna go live in another way. That way y'all can tune in and y'all can chat with us live, and we got the Skype hooked up. That's why we got Dave, the IT guy, so he can get it right. So we just having an open mic discussion right now. It's me, the Blaq Hippie, and it's Donte sitting right here across. We're drinking a few beers, and we got the homie Dave, the IT guy. We just sitting back and we just talking and discussing a few things. Right now we're talking about hip hop. The ups that it's had and the downs that it didn't had, and everything else. But we touched on Lupe, we touched on Kanye, we touched on J. Cole. One thing I want to touch on hip hop, because I love music, and I'm quite sure the brothers that I'm next to, they love music too, right or wrong, and they wouldn't be here if they didn't love music. And what do you think about this sissy shit that's going on in the music game, this fag shit? And I'm gonna admit it, even though I don't know the brother, sister, or whatever the hell he want to be called, but this young thugger, I want to address him properly. I don't mean no disrespect. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I don't know if you want to be a brother or a sister, but upon my research and everything else, you seem like a confused individual. But it's like with the whole homosexuality that's hidden out here in the world, and I'm going to touch on every subject, and I don't care who gets offended by it, but homosexuality in music, do you feel like that it's driving our kids to be to jump on the other side of the fence, shall I say, even more, because now it's being